We're already a third of the way through the year, so for fun, why don't we just look at what I think are the top 10 films of the year so far? This list will 100% change as the year goes on, but you know, why not? In my 10th spot, I have Solo Mio. Personally, I actually think that this is a very underrated romantic comedy. I think that it's really fun. It captures Italy in a very good way, unlike another romantic comedy that took place in Italy, You, Me, and Tuscany. I freaking did not like that movie at all, but this one's really cute. I think Kevin James is awesome. I think he should be utilized in movies more. I think he may have took like a personal break with acting, but it's kind of great to see that he's back. And this was a really cute movie. I kind of thoroughly enjoyed it. I saw it with my fiance and I really had a good time. It was funny, it was charming, it was cute. I mean, you can't really ask for much more with a romantic comedy. Next, I have Michael. I mean, this movie kind of went down on my ranking a little bit after I had rewatched it. I still really like this movie and I appreciate it. I think I have it at like a 3.5 out of 5. So I've definitely changed my review, but I still very much like it. I think it follows like, you know, very similar tropes with biopics and doesn't do necessarily anything super new and original or nuanced, but I really do find the parts of this movie about Michael Jackson to be really interesting and I think really well done by Jafar Jackson. I've said this since the very beginning, but Jafar Jackson is the like motor to this car. Like he is what really drives this movie. And there really isn't anything else in this movie that tells me that it's, you know, a really good movie. I think if it didn't have Jafar Jackson, it wouldn't have the same effect that it had on people, its audience. Like, it just wouldn't. And I think Jafar Jackson truly does give an Oscar-worthy performance. And you can say how weird I am for that opinion all you want, but genuinely, he does give one of the best like musical biopic performances ever. It is a like just incredible performance, one that one that can't leave my head. So yeah, Michael, it's good. It's definitely not going to be on this list for, you know, much longer, but it is right now. Next on my list is Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. This is another very underrated movie. I think that it's very unique, different, original. It's fun. I was actually, when watching it, I was thinking that it may be adapted from a book, but no, it's actually just an entirely original plot. I think it touches on some pretty important matters that, you know, we're currently facing in our society as far as, you know, gun violence and just the overall state of kids' mentality. And it was just really fun to watch. Not a good way to line up kids' mentality and fun in that sentence, but it was a fun movie. It was a fun movie. I think Sam Rockwell is just such a great actor. He's a really good comedic actor, so he was the just absolute shining parts of this movie. But I think overall it, you know, highlights important things that are happening in our society right now as far as technology and how it's advancing and how it's controlling people's lives. So this movie really isn't far off for how like the world really is. The real world's actually crazier, but this movie's fun. I like it. I wish more people had seen it in theaters because it's really, really good. But if you haven't seen it and you're into weird, nuanced, and very interesting stories, definitely check out this movie. This one will probably stay pretty high on my list for the rest of the year. It might come down a little bit, but I think it'll stay pretty much like right there. Another underrated movie, She Dances. This is a really, really fun movie. This is a film that Steve Zahn made with his daughter Audrey Zahn, so it's a very personal movie to Steve Zahn. Actually, not to push my own buttons for a second, but Steve Zahn actually personally reached out to me with a video that he made, which was just an incredible feeling. I mean, that was amazing for him to personally ask me to watch the movie. And no, I wasn't paid. That's why they contacted me, was because they didn't have like, you know, the budget to hire people to talk about their movie. I simply just watched it because someone asked, and he asked very politely, and it's really good. It's an underrated movie. It's very much a heartfelt film that's not trying too hard. There's like an obvious like tension between our characters throughout the entire thing, but it doesn't make it super like not cliche, not cringy. It's just simply a story about a father trying to reconnect with his estranged daughter and trying to get over a very traumatic thing that happened in both of their lives, centered around the same exact thing. It's funny, it's emotional. Audrey Zahn has an incredible breakout performance in this movie. I mean, I think that she's great. She's not trying too hard. It's not over directed. It's a very, very fun movie. Definitely watch this one. Next on my list is Hoppers. Honestly, a really, really great and fun Pixar movie. When this movie was announced, because they had announced it back at D23 in 2024, and I just was like, I'm kind of getting tired of this kind of animation, and I still kind of am on board with that. I think that this kind of animation is getting a little bit too, I don't want to say cartoony, because I think cartoony is a little bit just offensive to animation in itself, but I just think, I don't know. There's something about the animation that I'm not like totally on board with. So I wasn't on board with the movie, but then I saw it and it's actually really good. It's honestly kind of almost like a horror movie. I know a lot of people are going to be like, what? But there are some scenes in this movie that are kind of freaky. Like, I mean, the robot scene with like the skin being ripped off and him like running on all fours, but his arms are like backwards, or the shark floating in the air, and then how her eyes like went back to the normal, like just black eye shark. This was kind of a creepy movie, I'm not gonna lie. But obviously, important story. I love how there isn't like a particularly like main villain. Like, yes, there is a main villain, but it's not the villain that you think it's going to be. I like it. I think that they definitely did something different with the story that was definitely needed. Pixar is always doing something new and different, because Pixar is different than Disney, even though they are one, but they definitely do take their time in making their projects. And even if you kind of like aren't super trusting in the project that's coming out, they are probably going to make something that's really good. And this time it just happened to be Hoppers. I wasn't super on board with it, but I ended up really liking it. Next on my list is the most recent movie that I've watched. It's called Hokum. This is a new horror movie that is very, very, very good. I freaking had a great time with it. I think that it was spooky, it was scary, easily like the scariest bunny, rabbit, humanoid thing that they've ever put on screen. Like that scene, I say that scene, but there's around 3 scenes with that bunny, which honestly, I wish that they utilized more time for that character. I think it was Jack, Crazy Jack or something. Sorry if I'm butchering that name, but it was a very creepy character that I wish they would have focused a little bit more on. You know, they could go that route of being like, we're going to make a prequel about this character, which I think that'd be cool. I think there'd definitely be a lot of story because dang, whoever played the rabbit or bunny, whatever, holy moly, they did a good job. That was crazy. But I think that this movie really did understand the idea of atmosphere, really capturing a story within a very contained area. There are a lot of contained films that really do take place in like one spot, the entire thing. One that I can think of is called The Outfit, in which that movie has many storylines, many things happening in different places, but the entire story takes place in a tailor's office. This movie is very similar, in which we do spend probably around like 75% of the movie within one area, but then there's other things happening where, you know, there's other sets and whatnot, but it's basically a contained story. And I really like that. I love a creepy film that takes place in like a old vintage antique hotel that you probably should never stay in, but you want to. It kind of reminds me of this hotel in New York called the Bowery, which that is also like it's like an 1800s, early 1900s hotel that has very creepy but very nostalgic vintage antique vibes. And that's exactly what this movie is. It's just a creepy movie that has a really intricate and interesting story. It doesn't follow tropes or overused tropes, I should say. I mean, all horror movies kind of follow very similar tropes, but this one does something that really was interesting and unexpected, and I really like it. I really love this movie, and I'll probably honestly rewatch it. Epic, the Elvis Presley documentary. This was also done by Baz Luhrmann, who did the Elvis movie from 2022, which I really like the Elvis movie. I think Baz Luhrmann did a really good job, but I just love Baz Luhrmann's love for Elvis and his attempt in really trying to tell Elvis's story. And what I love about this documentary is that, well, one, this documentary is what was kind of just a whole entire accident, and they ended up being able to make something truly special. They were searching for like lost like footage that was said to be just like non-existent, but there was a rumor that this like Elvis footage existed, so they went into the salt mines of I keep forgetting the location, but the salt mines of some area. Chandler, you can pop it up on the screen right now. But if you look it up, but they went into the mines where they keep all of film, so that it's really cold down there, so that none of the film gets ruined. And they ended up finding it. And then 2 years later, they ended up finding the audio that goes along with it. And this entire documentary is footage that we've never seen before. And the whole entire thing is Elvis. It is Elvis talking. There might be some other people talking about Elvis very briefly, but for the most part, we are just watching clips of Elvis communicating, talking with people, and we get to see his vision, his like everything come to life on stage, and how he just processes things. It is such a incredible documentary, such a good movie. It was just riveting. It was so exciting in the theater. The way that it opened to the way that it closed, it's I don't want to spoil too much about it, but it definitely doesn't have a very like, it doesn't try and emulate anything that's been done before. So like it doesn't end like how the Elvis movie, Baz Luhrmann's Elvis, ended, like on a very like gut punch, like just like really just like making your whole entire body shiver in excitement. It just ends in kind of just like, we listened to this story of Elvis, we got to see Elvis's story, and he lives on in legend, and that's where it ended. But it opened with that Elvis crescendo that we just all love so much, and that is why I love this documentary. It tells a really good story. It's a very personal story. It's great. It's great. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's not long. It's a really, really good movie. Next, I have 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. Arguably, I think it might be the best, but it's between the first 28 Days Later and this one. I think 28 Days Later does take the cake, but 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple is absolutely amazing. It's emotional. It's funny. It's scary. It's graphic. It's gory. It's disgusting. It's creepy. It's a really, really great movie. But I love a movie that challenges the idea of what it can be. Like this 100% could have been like 28 Years Later. But 28 Years Later was directed by Danny Boyle, and 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple was directed by Nia DaCosta. And she just knocked it out of the park. I mean, I could not believe it. She also directed Candyman from, I believe, 2020 or 2021 or something like that, which underrated movie. I don't think it's like anything spectacular, but it is an underrated movie. But The Bone Temple is just so freaking awesome. It's just, it's just world building. It expands this insanely scary world of 28 Days Later. And it's just, it stands the test of time of how much you can truly add to a story to really make it that much more interesting. I'm waiting on the next one. I want the next one so bad. And there is a particular moment in this movie that I love, when a movie pulls you in and drops you in a good way. Like this whole entire feeling is building up, and then something happens and you're kind of just, your chest sinks in. There are a couple of scenes like that in this movie, but there's one in particular that I don't really want to spoil it. So spoiler in 3, 2, 1. But it's the scene with oh crap, what's the big muscle guy's name? I always forget names like off the top of my head. I think it was here, I'll just look it up. Just look at it real quick. Samson. It's the scene where Samson is like, over time, is starting to like get back to his like original mind, and he's sitting in this train, and then he starts having these like memories of him taking that train. And then in that memory, we're about to see his old self talk to the worker, and he says, I don't have a ticket. And then it goes back into his Samson body and saying that. Seeing one of these creatures speak was just such a out of body experience. Just like a whoa, just wow. I kind of like sound stupid right now, but it's a really good movie. Next on my list is Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. holy crap, this movie's funny. This movie is so freaking funny. It's insane. It might honestly be the funniest movie that I've ever seen in my life. I think that Matt Johnson and Jay McCarroll, but specifically Matt Johnson in a filmmaking aspect, just he has this mind of just, I'm going to do this thing, and then he does it. Like, he just does it. He did this biopic called Blackberry that is just absolutely an incredible film. He has a new one. I just made a video talking about it by the time you're seeing this, a couple days ago, but they dropped the first poster for the Anthony Bourdain biopic called Tony, in which he's directing that. And just that movie's going to be great too. Matt Johnson has such a particular way of going about things in making film that I will watch anything that he makes. And Nirvana, the Band, the Show, the movie is just one of the most original things I've ever seen in my life. It's hilarious. It's separates itself from the way society treats comedy now. It's not really afraid of offending people, but also kind of like recognizes how comedy has changed over time, and it's hilarious. It is absolutely groundbreaking. I think this movie is a masterpiece. It's absolutely insane. It's funny, great story. It's like Back to the Future, but just done. It's so good. I love this movie, and I know a lot of people have seen it. A lot of people love it, but I hope more people just watch it because it's such a good movie. It's instant classic. Speaking of instant classics, this is one of my new favorite films of all time. I've seen it 5 times in theaters, and just every single time it has only gotten better. But that's Project Hail Mary, and that is not leaving this spot at all throughout the rest of the year. I can guarantee you that. But yeah, Project Hail Mary, which, by the way, I don't know if you've noticed, I tried getting my hair cut like Rylan Grace. It didn't come out exactly how I wanted, but maybe I'll grow back some hair and it'll start doing it. But anyways, I'm a little bit too obsessed. But Project Hail Mary is a masterpiece. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful achievement in cinema. It is just something that I mentioned out-of-body experience in the Bone Temple. That out-of-body experience, it compares nothing to the out-of-body experience you get with this movie. The astrophage scene in which you are just transported into this movie. Like, I saw it in 70mm twice. And the first time I saw it closer to the screen, and the second time I saw it near the middle, so it was a little bit further from the screen. Honestly, I preferred the experience seeing it closer to the screen, because not being able to see where the screen ends and being able to just transport yourself into this movie was just an experience I wish I could just like shoot into my veins. I know that sounds very graphic and disgusting. Don't shoot anything into your veins, but this movie is just something else. It is something else. I love this movie. I mean, just look, I got a poster. I got a Displate poster and another one here. Displate, sponsor me, please. But yes, Project Hail Mary is an absolute masterpiece. I love Rylan Grace. I love Rocky. I love all the characters. I love the music. I love the score. I love the cinematography. It is just it's so good. The fact that there's like no green screen, there's like next to like no CGI except for just getting rid of some cables and for kind of perfecting certain scenes with Rocky, even though Rocky's pretty much done entirely by a puppeteer who is James Ortiz. Man, you know, I butchered his name last time, and so James Ortiz. I got it right this time. James Ortiz, the puppeteer and voice of Rocky, who is he can be nominated for Best Supporting Actor, which I think is pretty cool. So if he gets nominated for Best Supporting Actor, that would be pretty damn cool. But yeah, Project Hail Mary, my favorite movie of the year and one of my new favorite films of all time. I think it is just something so special, so unique, so amazing, so fun. Just, you know, I'm over the moon with this movie. But yeah, so those are my top 10 films of the year so far. We are a third of the way through the year, so this list is 100% going to change. I'd say probably 65 to 70% of it's going to change, if not 80%. Honestly, I feel like we could change even up to the 8th spot of the 7th spot of these movies changing. So we'll see, but I don't know if I'll do another 2/3 of the way through the year or if I'll do just halfway through the year to whatever. But yeah, those are my top 10 films of the year so far. So let me know in the comments, what are your favorite movies of the year so far? 6, 7?
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
But anyways, that'll bring it to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of it. I appreciate every single one of you. But remember, your movie moment is right around the corner. See you in the next video.